All right, class. So today we are going to finish up the guided practice problems from week 3. We've already done all of the word problems. Remember, if you need help with those or if you missed it, go back and watch the video from Tuesday and Thursday, okay? Well, actually, it started Monday. So go back and watch the videos for this week. All right, we worked on this problem yesterday. We took some notes on page 2, inequalities. Just a recap for your inequalities. I started off with the equal sign first because we know that an equal sign, when you graph it, there's no shading involved, but you graph it as a solid line. Okay. The less than sign, you're going to, because there's no equal to, it's going to be a dash line, and you're going to shade below the line because it's less than. Okay. You're going to graph lines the same way we've been graphing lines, where you label your M and your B, you find B on the Y axis, and you use your M to put other points on the line. Okay, so the same way that we've been graphing linear equations, we use those same rules and steps to graph inequalities. Okay, the only thing that's different is the shading based on the inequalities here that are given. Okay, of course, the equal sign is not an inequality. I just have it here to make the comparison. Okay. When there's an equal sign or equal to, like these inequalities here where there's equal to, the lines are going to be solid, just like the equal sign. When there's no equal to, the lines are going to be dashed. So less than has a dash line and you shade below. Greater than is a dash line and you shade above. Less than or equal to is a solid line because it's equal to, and you shade below because it's less than. You shade below the line. Greater than or equal to, that means it's a solid line, and you shade above. So we keep those things in mind as we are graphing inequalities. All right, so let's go to number 2. Okay. Please make sure that as you have questions that you stop me and ask, okay? Whenever it is that you feel like you're lost, please stop me so that I can explain, okay? All right, number 2. Anybody need me to wait? Everybody's good? Okay. All right, so the first thing that we do when we're graphing any type of equation or inequality is we label our M and our B. Remember that your M is the number that's attached to X. All of these equations are written in slope-intercept form, first of all. So our number that's attached to the X is our M. The number that has no variable attached to it is our Y. Remembering that our M is the slope, put my arrow the right way, and our B is the y-intercept, where the line crosses the y-axis. Okay, our starting point. So my M in the first equation is going to be the number that is in front of the X. If you don't see a number there, it's automatically 1. So this is a negative 1. Okay. You need it to be a fraction so that you can have a rise over a run. So in order to make this integer a fraction, you put a 1 under it. So this is my rise and this is my run. Any questions about how to label M? Our B is going to be the number that has no variable attached to it. So that's going to be this -2 or -2. Okay. Any questions about how to find B? We're going to find B then, the next step after you label M and B, we're going to find B on the y-axis because it's our y-intercept. So -2 on the y-axis is here. This is 0, -1, -2. This is -2 on the y-axis. This is where we start. We're going to use our slope, our rise over run, to put other points on the line. Since the top number is a -1, we go down 1. That's our rise. It's up and down. So since it's -1, go down 1. Our run is left to right. Since it's a +1, go to the right one. So it's down 1 and to the right 1. Put your point there. Down 1, right 1. This is where you put your point. Down 1 and in the right 1. This is where you put your point. If you want points in the opposite direction, then instead of going down 1, go up 1. Instead of going to the right 1, go to the left 1. So it's up 1, left 1. to put points in the opposite direction. Up one, left one. Up one, left one. Up one, left one. Up one, left one. Okay? This inequality here, again, there's no equal to sign, so this is going to be a dashed line. Look at how a dashed line looks. There's no equal to sign, so look at me draw a dashed line. It's a straight line, but it's dashed. Okay? That means every value that's on a dashed line is not considered a part of the solution. Okay? All right. So now let's do the second equation. Okay? My m for the second equation is -5, very similar to what we did in the first equation. The only difference is the inequality signs are different. Okay? This is an integer that you need to write as a fraction, so you're going to put a 1 under it. So now you have rise over run. Please stop me if I'm moving too fast or you don't understand. Okay? My b is the number that's not attached to, does not have a variable attached to it. It's 2. Okay? So we're going to find 2 on the y-axis. This is our y-intercept. 2 on the y-axis is 2 up from the origin. It's right here. And we're going to use the slope to put other points on the line. Our rise is our up and down. Since it's a -5, we go down 5. Our run is left to right. Since it's a +1, we go to the right one. So this is going to leave here, start here, and go down 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and to the right one. This is where I'm going to make this point bigger so I can make it noticeable. I don't have enough space to go down anymore. I run out of space here. And I don't have enough space to go backwards. So I'm just going to use these 2 points to draw my line. Now this is going to be a dash line because look, there's no equal to. So I'm going to make a dash line. Okay. Make sure my line is still straight, even though it's dashed, it needs to be straight. All right. So now this is less than, we shade at the end. This is, I'm sorry, greater than, so we shade above. Okay. And this right here is less than, so we shade below. Okay. So let's look at the first line. This is the first line right here. So we're going to shade above. So I'm going to draw above. This is on top of the line. That's above. Okay. And this one right here, below the line. Below the line, this line right here is the second line. Below the line is this way. Okay. So now the overlapping region is this part right in here. This is the overlapping region. These are where all my answers are. And all the points that are in the shaded region are a part of the solution. Okay? So I'm going to erase. Let me erase this. Because your answers are only in the overlapping region. That's why I don't get carried away with my shading initially. Okay? Any questions about that? I'll pause for the calls. All right. Well, actually, I'm going to let you do number 3 on your own. I'm going to go ahead and do number 4 because it looks different from the others. Okay. All right. So let's look at number 4. Number 4 is x is less than or equal to a -3. So we're going to find -3 on the x-axis. -3 on the x-axis is here. And I'm doing this differently because this is x and not y. So you're going to find -3 on the x-axis, and you're going to draw a line through it. It's a solid line because look, it says equal to. It's less than or equal to. So we're going to draw a solid line through -3 on the x-axis. Okay? Any questions about that? All right. We're going to shade at the end. This is less than, so we're going to shade below. Okay. Let's look at the second equation. Let's label our M and our B. Our M is 5/3. The top number is our rise. The bottom number is our run, okay? And the number that has no variable attached to it is our B, our y-intercept. So we're going to find B on the y-axis. B on the y-axis, 2 is here, +2. And we're going to use our slope to put other points on the line. So we're going to go up 5 because it's +5 on top, and to the right 3 because it's +3 on the bottom. So let's go up 5. 1, 2, 3, and we don't have enough space. So we need to put points in the opposite direction. So instead of going up 5, go down 5. Instead of going to the right 3, go to the left 3. So it's down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And to the left 3. 1, 2, 3. We don't have enough space to put more points. So we're just going to use these 2 points. There's no equal to here. This is just less than. So this is going to be a dashed line. Okay. Now we're going to do the shading. All right. This is less than, so we're going to do below. Values that are smaller than are going to be to the left. So I'm going to do a light shade this way because I know all I want is the overlapping region anyway. Okay. And then for the second line, I want to do below. So below is under the line here. So I'm going to do a light shade here. Okay. The overlapping region is right in here. Okay. So I can erase this. This is not a part of the solution. Sometimes in some answers you will see where they leave this shaded in, but you still need to know that your answer is in the overlapping region. Okay? Sometimes they'll leave it shaded, but you have to know that your answer to a system of inequalities is going to be in the overlapping shaded region. Okay? All right, so remember, points that are on this solid line here are going to be a part of the solution because it's in the overlapping region. Now, even though it's a solid line up here, none of these answers on this line is going to be a part of the solution. Only in this area where there's an overlapping shaded region, but not any point that's up here because it's not a part of the overlapping region. Now, points that are on a dashed line are not a part of the solution. So any point that is on a dashed line, even though it's right next to the shaded region, the overlapping region, it is not a part of the solution. Okay? Questions, comments, or concerns? All right. I need you to do number 3 on your own and then submit this assignment. I'm going to pause. I'm going to give you a couple minutes. If you have questions, please feel free to ask. Okay? Don't forget to label your M and B for both. Your M is the number that's attached to the X. Don't forget that. If it's already a fraction, good. You have a rise over a run. The number that has no variable attached to it is the y-intercept. Label M and B for the second equation. The number that's attached to X is your M, that's -2. If it's not already written as a fraction, write it as a fraction by putting a 1 under it. Top number is your rise, bottom number is your run. The number that has no variable attached to it is going to be your y-intercept or your B. This is a -3, so your B is -3. Okay. Your graphing, please make sure that you find your B on the y-axis. +2 on the y-axis is here. Use your rise over run. That means you're going to go up 1 and to the right 2. Up 1, right 1, 2. Up 1 to the right 2. Opposite direction, go down 1 and to the left 1, 2. Down 1 and left 1, 2. This is going to be a solid line because it's equal to. Okay. All right. Find -3. Oh, this is going to show you're going to shade below. The second equation or inequality, find -3 on the y-axis. This is a -2, so go down 2 and to the right 1. Down 1, 2 and to the right 1. Points in the opposite direction, up 1, 2, left 1. Up 1, 2, left 1. Up 1, 2, left 1. This is a dash line because there's no equal to in this inequality. So do a dash line. Okay. Now let's shade. The first equation, you're shading below. So that's under this line. In the second equation, it's also below. So that's under the line. The line is going this way. Under the line is here. Okay. The overlapping region is going to be right here. And you can keep this part right here as long as it's lightly shaded, or you can erase so you can just see just the answers. Sometimes in answer choices, they will keep these shaded regions, but just know the region that overlaps is where all your answers are. Any point that's in this shaded region that overlaps is a part of the solution. And it's on a solid line right here, not a dash line, but a solid line. Okay, on this solid line going up this way is not a part of the solution because it's not next to an overlapping region. So just the solid line that's this way has points that are a part of the solution. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Okay, I'm gonna pause here. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the video.